The biggest reason why most people fail with dropshipping isn't their product, it isn't their marketing or content, it's not even their website. It's actually not picking a good supplier. Now, let's say you start selling this neck pillow here, right? It's a great product. It solves an evergreen problem. It's easy to market and sell, and building a website for something like this is super easy. What most people make the mistake of doing is picking a service like AliExpress or AutoDS. I'm going to share with you why this is a really big mistake. And if you hate money, you would pick something like this. For AliExpress, honestly, like if you're still using AliExpress to source products and ship to your customers, you probably hate money. They have crazy long shipping times, stupid price markups, and it's really hard to automate and manage everything, right? With AliExpress. Every time a new order comes in, you're going to have to manually punch in that customer's address, use your credit card to pay AliExpress to ship it to their address. No one wants to do that. So because of that, a lot of services like AutoDS have been created where you can actually easily automate everything. And as someone that actually started my journey using AutoDS, I know firsthand working with them, it's a fairly good tool and website, but it lacks direct communication to suppliers. There's crazy markups on cost of goods, which I didn't initially know. And I'll give you an example in just a moment. I didn't even realize because I just used them initially and I didn't compare with other suppliers. And, they also have a monthly subscription, right? Which eats into your profit margin. So you're paying anywhere between 30 to 50 bucks a month. I totally forgot the amount, but I think it's around like 50 bucks a month to use their service to find suppliers and automate the entire process. So now imagine this, right? Let's use the same pillow for example here. Your competitors sell this exact product for $49.99. And these people are smart and use this specific supplier that I'm going to share with you that I now use. And you can get a cost of good for $15 and they get 6 to 12 days shipping, right? Pretty good cost of good there. The markup on it is pretty good. And this is what they're selling. You, on the other hand, use AliExpress, Alibaba, and these other suppliers and are forced to have a cost of good of $20 with longer shipping times, 8 to 16 day shipping. To stay competitive with your competition, you'll have to lose an extra $5 of profit per sale and also take longer for your items to actually get to your customers, which actually sets you up for more returns. This is also going to be really hard to get a good break-even ROAS, right? And a break-even ROAS helps you, this is the amount of money you can spend before you break even. So scaling your product with ads become next to impossible if you don't have a 1.6 break-even ROAS or lower, right? So in other words, if it costs more for your cost of goods, it's harder to sell it at a competitive rate and scale that. So I actually found a really good supplier here that is free to use, right? So unlike AutoDS, you don't have to actually pay a monthly subscription to use. There's no minimum order quantities. You can actually customize your products, which is super important. I'm going to share with you why that's so important in a moment. As good customer support, fast shipping to all major countries, and you can automate the entire thing, right? So anytime a new order is placed on your website, your supplier will get the information and you can obviously easily send that product to your customer without you having to manually do a ton of stuff, right? And to quickly circle back to the break-even ROAS, I use a tool like this. Viral Ecom Ads has their own version of a break-even ROAS calculator. And if I were to say my cost of goods and shipping for a product like this here that I was using in this example, right? So their entire cost of goods, so the cost to purchase a product and ship it, let's just say is $15, right? So if they're selling it $15 and then it's $49.99, as you can see, their break-even ROAS is pretty good. It's a 1.43. Now, I was making the mistake of using these other suppliers and it was costing me way more to have the same exact product because a lot of these services, they mark up the price so they can make money, right? If they can supply the product to you for $15, they're going to mark it up to 17, 18, sometimes as much as a $5 markup because that's how they make their money on top of the subscription that they're charging you every month. So if I were to change that to now $20 from $15 to $20, as you can see, that break-even ROAS jumps up significantly and your profit is, you're losing an extra $5 compared to your competition. So having a good supplier is literally one of the biggest reasons why most people fail with dropshipping. It's just impossible to scale. If you have a good supplier that gives you products for cheap and allows you to ship quickly to your customers, it's way easier to scale, right? And another big thing here is the branded element of it all. Being able to customize your products is super important. Here's a quick example, right? Here's an example of a brand here. And they are customizing this jacuzzi mat, right? It's the wave mat here. And you can see here on the product itself has their logo. This is that version of it. Now look at this version of this, right, that I found on Amazon. And I also found another store too that's doing the same thing, but they don't have any customization. This looks way more boring and this looks more dropshippy, right? We're living in a day and an age where you have to have a brand to be successful with dropshipping, not just, put a random product on your website and expect it to do well. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the exact tool that I've been using, the exact sourcing supplier that I've been using that provides all these benefits with next to no downside whatsoever. And the tool is called BS Dropshipping. I'll have a link in the description of this video. You can click that link and sign up for free. And as you can see here, they private label with no MOQ, no minimum order quantity, and it's 100% free. So think about your products that you're dropshipping. Being able to put an actual brand logo on top of that product allows you to not just get undercut by other dropshippers, but for you to also build a reliable brand that you can use to scale. Right. So these guys are not only really good at their branded dropshipping because they're the only service that I've been able to see do this, but their shipping times are some of the fastest I've ever seen across all different countries because they have direct connections and partnerships with some of the biggest parcel distributors in China, which is amazing. So as you can see here, really cool stuff. They also have some like really neat stuff like this where they can hide China tracking information. So if you want to sell to people in the United States or in other countries, but you don't want to display that it's coming directly from China, you can disguise that with their team. They have reliable logistic partnerships, really easy to use app. And the best part about it is you don't have to pay a monthly subscription to source your products and get good quality sourcing really quickly. They do it within the next 24 hours, which is amazing. So I'm going to walk you through it, show you how to set it up and connect it to your store. It's super, super easy. Here on the dashboard section here, you'll be able to follow some basic instructions on how to connect this directly to your Shopify account. You're going to click a couple buttons. It's going to redirect you to your Shopify dashboard and it's going to allow you to install their app. Once you have that connected, you're just going to go into your settings and make sure you have that turned on. So once you have the app installed, make sure you go to settings under your Shopify account, go to shipping and delivery, and then just go to add locations and make sure that you have BS fulfillment turned on, right? Because when you go to connect the two apps, if this isn't turned on in Shopify, you won't be able to actually automate the entire thing. This basically says, hey, I will use this service to automate my orders. So when a new order comes through, I'm giving Shopify permission to connect to BS Dropshipping. So make sure this is turned on, and obviously you have to have the app installed and everything. Once you do that, you're pretty much good to go. So here I have a new store that I'm just testing and getting a couple sales here and there, which is pretty cool. So you'll see your store, numbers perform here. You'll get some announcements and stuff like that. Up here, it says new orders. So obviously, when you get a new order, you'll be notified right here. When you have pending orders, this is the action, or this is the notification that you need to push the order forward or make the payment. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment here. Processing orders, these are all the orders that are processing and they're in the process of being shipped or processed, and then any support tickets that you might have. Okay, so when you go under sourcing and first create your new account, you'll notice that you have a total of 3 free sourcing requests. So the one thing about BS Dropshipping, you only get 3 free sourcing requests in the beginning, and then after that you have to pay per sourcing request. I do believe they have some ways to get some free sourcing requests. I think you can just go to the help guide here. And then if you type in sourcing, it says it here too, how can I remove the sourcing limitation of 3 sourcing requests? And then you can see here that they give you some things that you can do. You can always just pay $1.50 to get a free sourcing request. Or you can comment on the BS Dropshipping app and get 5 free sourcing requests. And there's some other ways you can do that as well. So at this point, I just pay the $1.50 because it's pretty consistent. And as you can see here, just doing some testing and just messing around with the app. I have a list of things that I source for. It is really, really easy. All you really have to do to punch in a sourcing request. Well, first off, this is what it looks like once you punch in a sourcing request. And then once it gets approved, there will be a green check mark here. And then what you can do is hit check price and then move my camera up here. Then you just pick China here as far as like where you're obviously shipping the product from. And then let's say we wanted to ship to like the United States right now. With tariffs and everything, some of the shipping times and cost is a little bit more than it normally would. Hopefully once this passes, they'll reduce the shipping pricing. Actually, if you saw earlier that they notified us that they actually have decreased pricing on certain shipping things. So this is just a loose example of a product, but if you were to pick from China, United States, it'd take about 8 to 10 days and it only costs $9. I believe when I looked at something like this on AutoDS, it was like it was about $4 to $6 more expensive. So, and it took longer to get there. It took like 7 to 15 business days. So pretty short shipping, man. Relatively speaking, as far as drop shipping goes, that's really good. And if you were to pick a different country, like let's say Australia, for example, okay, I guess they don't ship to Australia. So let's see here. This specific product, normally they ship just about anywhere. Let's pick somewhere like Canada. Okay, so there you go. So now this is your total cost of good, right? This is the cost to purchase the product. And this is also the cost to ship the product. So purchase product price is $5.42. And then to ship it to your customer within 6 to 10 days is only $9, which is really good, right? That type of speed of shipping is pretty dope. Okay, and then you would hit publish to store, and then the product would show up under the list of your products on Shopify. And then whenever a new order is placed, there you go. That's really it. That's all you have to do there. Under the products tab, BS Dropshipping themselves, they don't just ship out products. They also manufacture products as well. So they'll give you a list of their products that they directly manufacture in their warehouse. And then if you see anything that's interesting and you want to, drop ship and sell, you can always do that as well. But obviously, most times you're going to want to look for your own product and do your own market research. So when you do get orders in, you still have to punch it forward, right? So this is actually for your own protection, just in case a customer wants to change or edit or do anything different with their order, and you don't want to necessarily submit them right away. This is how you would actually safeguard against that. So instead of an order going through and it immediately gets placed with the BS Dropshipping team, what they do is they have like a pending payment, a list of pending payments here. And if everything is good and everything looks good, you're just going to hit add to invoice, and that will notify the BS Dropshipping team to punch in that order to the supplier or manufacturer of the product that you're dropshipping. And just so you are aware, the way it works is BS Dropshipping is connected with all the top manufacturers in China. So when you're sourcing a product, what BS Dropshipping does is they go and look for that product and see who manufactures it. And what they'll do is once they build that connection, anytime you get an order, they will reach out to that supplier directly in China, order the product, the supplier will send the product to BS Dropshipping, and they'll take care of the shipping and handling. So they make sure they package your products properly. If you need to add any logo or branding on your products, they will do that, right? That's the whole thing here with branded dropshipping, is adding logos and making your product actually feel themed and not just another dropshipping product. And they will send it off to your customers using their shipping lines that are the fastest and the cheapest there, right? So it's really cool. And then to add payments and stuff like that, you can do Wire, PayPal works well for them as well. And that's really easy to do as well. And if you're someone getting a ton of orders every day, you can always do a bulk order too, right? So right here, just hit bulk add to invoice. So if you have like 15 orders, what I like to do is come at the end of the night, make sure all the orders are good, check to make sure no customers are asking for any changes or whatever. And then just hit bulk add to invoice. And then if I have 20, 30, 40 orders, it'll all go through my account balance. As you can see here, they'll just debit from the account balance that I've added to my account. BS Dropshipping has an entire guide on how to add money to your account. It's really easy. For me, I only add a few $100s at a time. When I'm getting a ton of orders and my account is like, my store is doing really well, I'll slap some extra money on there. But for the most part, it's really easy to manage. And it's really easy to do. You just add a balance. There's no fees or service charges, unless you're using PayPal. That's just the normal PayPal fees. But normally I could just use something like PayPal, send them the money, they'll get it within 24 hours. And now they'll debit the money directly from your account when a new order comes through. And that's all you have to do. Now, the big thing about this is the branding, right? Being able to put a logo on your product and even add like certain things into your packaging to make it more personalized and branded is really cool. To do that, you go into products here and then pick whatever product it is. And then you just go into branding. right? And this is where you can add a logo if you need to on your product, a wish card, right? Like if you want to add a card inside the package, you can do that. Shipping packaging, so like anything like if you want to add any like specific branding with the shipping packaging, you can, like anything on the box or anything like that. And then product packaging as well. If you want to put certain like wrapping in the product and then select the design, you can easily do that, right? So I can select here and throw up a logo for a brand like this, and it costs a penny for them to do that. Literally a penny, which is so easy, right? Same thing with a wish card, whatever logo or design that you have. And then if you really want something more specific, you could actually just contact the support team here. They're really helpful. And you can just let them know, like, hey, I have some questions about branding. You can even get on a call with them and talk to them about what they do. And it's actually really, really cool. Their warehouse and all the different customizations that they can do to your products for like little to no additional costs is absolutely amazing. They even have these like machines in their warehouse that will like customize your boxes, roll on certain logos and designs for you. So this helps separates you from the average drop shipper. You're going to have the best shipping times at the best competitive rates, and you're going to be able to add personalized branding to your product so you actually look like a brand and not another drop shipper. Hopefully you guys found value in this video. Sign up for BS Dropshipping today. I'll leave a link down below in the description, and good luck with your dropshipping journey. Hopefully now it should be a lot easier to find a good supplier and be able to make as much money as possible.